Let's talk about that movie we just saw.
Yeah, let's.
I think I ripped out my ear.
Oh god. Made it.
We just came back from the theater after having to go and see Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, directed by Andre Overalt and written in part by Guillermo del Toro. Andre previously directed not that many films actually. He did, most notably, Troll Hunter and The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Troll Hunter being this mockumentary about trolls in Norway, and basically trying to integrate all the mythology and the fairy tales into, some feasible reality, where troll hunters are government workers.
Hvor mange typer troll finnes det egentlig?
Det var jo to hovedgrupper her, bergtroll og skogstroll. Og så har du undergrupper, så er det vel raglefant, tusselad, rimtusse.
The Autopsy of Jane Doe is another really, really good horror movie I'll say it's subversive. It's one of those movies where you really gotta go into it not knowing what it's about. Because that's what I did, and I was really surprised when I saw it happened. Needless to say, it's very well written, and the cinematography is beautiful. Just to start off, what did you think about Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
Red Room.
Red Room. That's probably, I think,
God damn it.
both of our favorite scenes. The Red Room scene.
It was horrifying. It was like...
It was amazing.
You really feel like you're there with the character as he gets...
The cinematography, I feel, has a lot to do with it. It was very, like I said, similar to The Autopsy of Jane Doe. The way he used colors and kind of like this enclosed space. There's a lot of, shots where the camera throws around, so you don't really get the comfort of a cut that shows you you're in a movie. You're just kind of in it with the character.
Can't go left, can't go right.
Can
Down
go left,
the middle.
Can go right.
Oh shit. Now I'm dead.
Now I'm dead. You have not read the book.
Nope. I went in blind. I had no idea what this was going to be about. I figured it was going to be like an anthology kind of thing, bringing in multiple different horror scenarios. No, that's not what happened.
Yeah, that I think one of the two ways they could have done it. Here's a series of stories that are just connected by nothing. Just here's a story,
kinda.
Like VHS an anthology film. Well, basically an anthology film, yeah. Or it could be like the Goosebumps movie, garbage. No. Whoo. And that's basically what they did, where they took the concepts, basically the characters, the imagery from the book, and just put it in there. The big thing from the book, I think, I said thing too many times, is the
Not enough times.
illustrations in the book. As a kid, that's why you picked up the book. You pick it up and you look at the illustrations and you go, holy shit, I'm scared. I don't want to read this, Mom. Take me home.
I pissed my pants, Mom.
I pissed my pants, Mom.
Mom!
But yeah, you open it up and you're a kid, and you have the story, which is the stories are based on mythology and campfire stories. So they're not, I'd say, visceral. They're more campy in a way.
Yeah.
For one of them, of course, is the girl with the pimple.
And the pimple has spiders.
Yeah, that's an urban myth where they say, oh, you heard about the girl? She had a pimple on her face. And then when she tried to squeeze it out, spiders came out!
Isn't that scary?
It's that kind of story. But I think in the book, the reason why it's so well remembered and so feared by so many children is because of those illustrations. Because you open up the book and you go, blah!
Blah!
It's these horrifying drawings for a children's book that
Exactly.
just made it like visceral.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's a story. Oh, a fat pale witch. So in your head, you imagine, okay, but I mean, you open up the book and you see the illustration,
And that illustration.
and, you know, it's the Red Room from the movie, and you go, "Oh my God, Mom, take me home."
I'm gonna have nightmares about that
It
for
was
a while.
It was a great
Quite a
scene.
while.
It was great.
It was a good scene.
Very similarly to the book, I feel like the movie was very, I'm not gonna say formulaic, but it's something we've seen before. It's very much not a unique setting.
Yeah.
It's, you know, characters find an object, they get cursed, you know, they start dying off, they gotta find a way not to die. They do research into the past, you know, it's
Yeah, it reminds me a bit of what's it, Paranorman?
paranormal.
Just like how actually the witch wasn't a bad person, but like just a person who shit.
Not really, because that's something that also happens in a lot of movies.
Well, yeah. I don't know, like where there's like this kind of you can't be doing bad things, ghost. Come on.
Yeah.
Kinda
Spoilers,
thing.
okay. Let me establish that, yeah, if you look at this movie in its pieces, its parts, at the end of the movie, they're like, "Ghost, don't you do that." No, no, no.
No, no,
No, no, no.
No, no, no.
And that's how they beat the
Not
ghost.
today.
If you look at the plot, like I said, it's very structured in a way that we've seen before.
Yeah.
But just like the short stories were in a way elevated to this visceral height by the illustrations, I feel like the cinematography and just the execution of everything
yeah. atmosphere.
elevated everything, yeah.
When they were gonna do a character death, for more lack of a better term, that they would just
Switch directors.
like switch directors, or just like the director would step up their game. They would step up their game and be like,
Well, no, like I said, this director,
And-
he's good. You haven't seen The Autopsy of Jane Doe. I might show it to you. It's really good.
all right,
Like,
Help me.
I think he kind of does do that, where he has a movie, and then he has the, like, horror scenes where...
oh wait, you know what? I just remembered, like how you know how like in the beginning of Halloween, the original, it
Yeah.
almost felt like a short.
Oh, yeah, that's how most horror movies have at the beginning.
And then it was like the rest of the movie.
Oh,
it feels like that. Like there's the movie and then a short.
Yeah, and then you just jump into a short that could be scary all on its own with no context.
Yeah.
I feel that, yeah, totally. There's also something to be said about the sound design in this movie. And like the first kill, it's in a field, and I really liked how they...
talk.
Yeah, he doesn't talk, and then every once in a while they put in like wind. Just like really loud wind effects, and I was like, oh. It actually did give me chills, and like that's saying something, because I watch a lot of horror movies, and you know, just to get chills, I'm like, ooh. Because this movie is PG-13, so there wasn't much gore in it, but they really did, I think, make up for it in the execution of the horror scenes and the kills.
And just being eerie like throughout.
Yeah, I think specifically two of them, which we'll get into in a bit, I think. Something that should be mentioned, because I feel there's definitely gonna be something people think about, is the group of kids. Because after Stranger Things came out, it kind of became like this prerequisite for a lot of horror movies that you gotta have the kids. I'm talking specifically about the, you know, Goonies, old TV movie It, kids on bikes.
Yeah.
And, you know, these kids, they get on bikes, and I'm like, oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Season of the Witch starts playing, and we know it's over.
Yeah. No, but I feel like they did it very well in this movie, at least, because they did not follow a lot of the archetypes that I think you've seen in these movies. But they didn't have, you know, like the fat kid, but they did have like a goofy kid, you know, and they had like this nerdy kid, and it was refreshing not to see the same characters, is what I'm saying.
Or at the very least, they were changed up a bit.
Yeah, so it's not like, oh, you can say, oh, here's the equivalent to this character in this movie, here's this equivalent.
Like, we called him, like, I remember calling him, like, the fat kid earlier when I, like,
yeah, I thought that was weird.
But honestly,
he's
like,
not fat.
He's not, yeah, but I was just like, in my head for some reason, I just like, the fat kid.
You felt compelled to put him into that category, but you were expecting to find that category of here's the fat kid.
Yeah, but no, he was definitely out of that category.
Yeah.
He felt like I could relate to him if I was if I was in this situation.
Well, yeah,
and
because he's in the most horrible situation.
And then was like, and then I realized, oh god, I'm probably gonna die in a red room.
Oh god, no, yeah, like I said, we're gonna talk about the scenes because we really gotta talk about
And
it.
then someone mentions, oh yeah, the things you're probably looking for are in the red room.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
We'll get into that because right now it's like nonsense what you're saying. Guillermo del Toro's involved, so there's like this Mexican kid, and I'm like, hey, thank you, Guillermo.
Thank you.
Thanks for the
Yeah.
representation, Guillermo.
You did it, Guillermo. You ended racism. Well, boys, we did it.
We did it.
We ended racism.
Okay, what were we talking about?
The
characters. Yeah. Yeah, the characters, they were pleasant to watch, and I think they had a really, really nice thing going with the main girl and her father. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it got
Actually,
to me.
it got to me
right?
too. I'm like, oh man.
Oh yeah, another thing. It was on in the 80s, which is, you know, wow. You did it, Guillermo. You went to 80s nostalgia.
I should mention we just saw this movie.
Well, I mean, we did go pick up a coffee first. You know, and today on this program, we are drinking the Champ from Dark Horse Coffee Roasters. We went to the original location in Normal Heights on Adams Avenue, and we picked up 2 iced Champs. This beverage is espresso, milk, honey, and cinnamon. All very nice, like, smoky, kind of brown flavors, or auburn flavors, I like to call them. And it's just a really, really, really good beverage. It's their iconic drink there. Because that's their thing. They, of course, have their own coffee there, and they're famous for their espresso, which is, like I said, very good. If you're in San Diego, go to Dark Horse Coffee Roasters. There are several locations, but, you know, I like going to the original because I'm a hipster. And there's nothing I can do about that.
There isn't anything you can do about that.
It's terminal.
Yeah.
Despite the PG-13 rating, I think they made up for the lack of gore and blood with
Just raw creativity.
just raw, more creative death that was, I think, even better than it would have been with just gore.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Because I mean, like with the scarecrow scene, like he could have been gutted and then filled with hay. They could have done that, but I mean, we're used to gore.
Yeah. It's a lot creepier to just have. Should we get into scares
I think
now?
we're gonna get into not the scares, but each
Or
like,
the
little
stories.
the short stories inside of the bigger story. Then
Yeah.
the first extended kill scene was based on the short story Harold, which is, you know, it is what it is. It's a guy in a field who gets, you know, killed by a scarecrow and gets turned into the next scarecrow, which of course is kind of, you know, I'd say predictable. Not predictable, but I don't like calling things predictable.
I expected him to just get killed by the scarecrow.
Well, yeah, because you haven't read the book.
Because I haven't read it.
Because that's already like something you expect. You expect, oh, the scarecrow, and then the next morning.
He's shown in the beginning abusing the scarecrow.
And it's really funny.
And then,
Oh, by the way, I'm upset that they changed the line from the trailer. Because in the trailer, okay, I'm gonna put up the clip. He says, you know, he hits Harold with the bat and says, "Eat it, Harold."
Eat it, Harold.
And it's really nasally and really funny how it sounds, and I'm looking forward to that. But in the actual movie, like he said, "Eat shit, Harold," but it wasn't nearly as nasally and cool.
yeah, no, he was.
At the one in the trailer.
There was no nasal in that. He was just like.
He was so nasally in the trailer. It was amazing. I loved it. What were we talking about? Yes, the story. I mean, that's something you'd expect, really. That's a story that I think everybody knows one way or another.
Mhm.
The scarecrow kills a guy, and next morning, the guy is the scarecrow.
Yeah.
It's standard. But like I said, what really brings it up is the execution.
Keeps walking out, and he realizes he's like back where he started.
That was good.
And he's like, wait, what?
They do quite a bit of like impossible, like dream logic-y stuff in the movie.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that because they did that kind of like sparingly but effectively. Where he walks into this field and he keeps ending up in the same place.
The same
The
place.
same place. And it looks like the cornfields are kind of infinite.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the
And-
part I was talking about with like the sound design with like the wind is just howling and you just hear the crunching of stuff.
And you know what? I was really glad they didn't just have. It almost felt like the shot was getting set up for that, where he like walks up to the camera and there's like enough space for someone to jump out and grab him. And I was like, oh god, don't do that.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
I was also expecting that. That's true. You're right. There are a few scenes where they do like cheap jump scares where like the friend opens the door.
Okay, maybe that's a good
And they put in the piano and the sound effect, and I saw that and I was like, oh, okay.
In the beginning when
Nothing's happening, and that just
nothing's happening, they were just like fooling around in the house or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, I was gonna call him Fat Kid again.
Yeah, because that's the archetype you expect to be, but he's kind of just like silly.
He ends up he stabs the Scarecrow. The Scarecrow grabs the pitchfork and stabs him.
You know, this is the point where like I was like, okay, I'm pleasantly surprised because I was pretty sure it was gonna be like the Scarecrow like jump scares, cutscene. Where is he? What happened to him? Then
and we see the next day that he's the Scarecrow.
I was worried that was gonna happen. I was confident that was gonna happen. I think there was some surprise in that. Like I said, it's the elevation of it.
Yeah, and I honestly, like, at first I was like, since I had no idea what was going on, I was like, oh god, where's the blood? Like that was my question because like he got stabbed, but I didn't see blood. I just saw kind of like little things poking out of him, and he starts to like cough up straw, and I'm like,
this straw starts coming out like every hole in his body, and it's horrifying. It's horrifying.
Every orifice.
And
the straw just starts coming out. And the thing that kind of freaked me out was because I started thinking, oh god, he's trying to breathe and straw's just coming in and out of his lungs.
Like pulling it out, and it's horrifying.
Like the idea of being drowned by straws, like being drowned in general, or just like something coarse and like coarse and rough,
it's
like
even
sand.
Worse,
Sand, coarse and rough.
Sand, coarse and rough.
Yeah, I don't like sand.
And it gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Shit. But yeah, no, like I said, that's where I was like pretty surprised that they could have done like if it was rated R, it would have been a gory scene, I think, where he gets cut open, they take out his guts.
No.
I mean, and I enjoy that. That's fun, especially when it's like excessive and horrible.
And a massive amount of blood just bursts out over the farm.
And his
mom opens the door,
gets sprayed in the face with blood. Yeah, but no, like
he finally painted the house red. Hey,
finally painted the house. Yeah. Yeah, no, they could have done that. And they would have done like he gets gutted, they take out his guts, and then we later find out he got turned into a scarecrow. But I think it was more horrifying what they did, where he's just like spewing out hay, and he's choking and turning like blue, and it's I liked it. It was fun.
And then the next time we see him, there's just the scarecrow again, but it has his jacket on.
Yeah, that's like what you'd see in the horror story. Yeah. Yeah. What was the next one?
The next one was
Augie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in full spoilers at this point. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one I think was the weakest.
Oh yeah, honestly.
Kinda, yeah.
We didn't care for Augie that much.
I didn't care for it. He was cool. Yeah, how he died at the end was really like the least. I'd say
he got dragged.
But they did do like that infinite like weird space thing. We'll talk about.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah, it's the corpse with the missing toe, which I think is also a story. I don't quite remember that one. And
I feel like I've heard that one before.
Well, yeah, it's like these are all campfire stories that got put into the book.
I'm trying to like remember a book, but I don't know if it's the same one.
It might have been because everyone read that book. I can't believe you hadn't read it. It's like it's like.
And if I didn't, then like you know what? If I didn't, then I probably read something else similar. But I'm gonna search it up when I get home. I'm not gonna search it up when I get home. The main character's like, it's the book. It's the ghost.
It's the demon book.
It's the demon book.
It's the demon book.
Like immediately. And you know what I liked about that? Like she was immediately like, I'm gonna put this back.
Yeah, that's what like the last thing they'd think to do.
Yeah, no, that's what I would do immediately. That's what like most of the audiences would think to do.
Yeah.
And then the book just kind of comes back.
Yeah.
On its own. But
like I said, it's all like really stuff you'd expect.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you try to get rid of it, it comes back. You try to burn it, it doesn't burn.
Yeah.
This is all very standard.
But I'm glad that they tried it. At least.
Yeah.
Like in like a lot of horror movies,
they don't
just
do
that, or they just
they just lay down and die.
They lay down and die.
Cry.
Fools. This is the character that didn't believe in any of that shit. He's like,
I don't care. Let's just go home.
Let's just go home. I just want a girl to understand how sensitive I am. He was like that. I was like, oh.
He just finds a toe in a bowl of chili that he didn't know where it came from. He starts to eat some chili.
Yeah,
there's a toe in it.
And while he's on the phone with
that's pretty good.
Character.
They zoom in. There's a lot of like zoom in, little gruesome zoom ins, where he's like pulling the toe out of his mouth and they zoom in. You can see him like sucking on it. I don't know why. If you think there's something weird in your mouth, you suck on it after you take it out of your mouth. Yeah, a lot of gross out stuff.
Yeah, and then like he
and later on,
immediately freaks out and there's like all these body parts in the chili.
Followed by a corpse upstairs. He locks himself in his room.
Yeah.
Hides under the bed like a bitch. May I
He tries
add?
to go out the window, by the way. He tried to go out the window,
But
and
for
then
some
he gave
reason,
up
can't
immediately.
open it for some reason.
I remember like looking at you and being like, he just gave up.
Yeah, like I jump out the window, like in.
I mean, shit. Don't jump out the window, but at least try. Oh, okay, well,
Like
jump
in
out the
From
window.
Beyond, I think is the name of the movie. I forget. But yeah, in that movie, like character jumps out like a 3rd-story window to survive, and breaks both her legs. But it's awesome.
You know what I did like though? How you hear like the door creaking open, like you see it
Yeah.
kind of open, like just not enough for someone to like actually fit through.
Yeah, then he like
And
looks
then
away.
like he looks away and looks back and it's like fully open.
Yeah,
And it's like, okay, yeah, someone's definitely in
yeah,
there.
the tension of those quiet scenes is very good. But ultimately, he just gets like dragged into the darkness, which is, after
Which was the idea of him being dragged into darkness is like
it's not much really.
It's been done, but like visually it looked kind of interesting how the bed just
Yeah.
all of a sudden became way bigger.
Yeah.
It was definitely not as big as it was
Yeah.
in that shot as he's being dragged into
Into
like
the darkness,
the void.
the void. But yeah, they play a lot with, like I said, this infinite like dream space,
Yeah.
which is it might be Guillermo del Toro's influence because that's like something really prominent in Mexican literature, which I know that he likes a lot.
Mhm.
The magic realism where it's all like impossible logic and stuff like that, and we definitely see that in the scare scenes.
Yeah.
But by far it was like I think the least interesting,
Yeah, it was definitely the weakest
and that one's followed
story.
up. That one's followed up by the
By the best.
no, it's not the pimple.
You're right.
The pimple.
You're right.
That one
I
got to me
forgot about
because
that.
it was like it was kind of gross. I read it and I want to see her squeeze that thing. And yeah, it's it's a nasty big pimple, and like in one shot she squeezes it and you can kind of see like how pimples look when they're about to blow up. Like I was like, ugh, no, don't.
I think you see like the pus like just
Yeah.
nearly breaking out
yeah.
the surface of the skin.
But yeah, and eventually spiders come out of her face, and you go, ugh, spiders, but it's all right.
It was alright, yeah.
Right.
But I did like how it kind of set up that people can be saved. Like
That you're not just gonna die.
yeah, you're not the book's fortune telling, I guess. It's not fortune telling, it's a curse essentially.
A curse, yeah.
Gypsy curse.
Wrong movie. We were thinking of this movie.
Oh yeah. But
I'm gonna put Drag Me to Hell there, by the way.
I know. I
I
know.
Yeah.
That's the only movie that came to mind. But it set up that like people don't have to die if their story is written. Like you can save them to some extent.
Well, yeah, she was gonna run with him pulled into like a horrible nightmare realm.
Oh, we should mention that like the Spider Girl was this next guy's big sister.
Does that matter?
And you know what? Probably shouldn't have mentioned that. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this brings us to I think the best scene in the movie.
Best scene.
When I saw the trailer, like even when I read the book, like and I knew they're gonna make the movie, I was like, I'm looking forward to this one. Not because of the story, okay? Because I really cannot remember the story. But because this image, the illustration of this monster in particular, really, really, like, I don't know, it stuck with me. That's the one that I remember. The Scarecrow, because it's, like, iconic from the book.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, it's... I don't know, it's such an unsettling illustration. Like, in the book. I'll show it to you later, but...
You can show it to me later, but
Well,
you'll
you
show
saw
it to
it.
them now.
Yeah, it's right there, see? But yeah, no, you saw it, and, like, the moment you saw her face, I could tell you
Yeah,
were...
no, okay, so in the theater... there wasn't a lot of people, so I was sitting kind of like,
Yeah.
but as soon as that happened, I kind of curled up a little bit.
saw
I was
you.
squirming in the chair.
Because no, really, it's...
That was ooh
It's
God.
It's Guillermo del Toro. He has like it's his character design. You can really tell that it was him who had the hand in that. Because it just looks really great, really just unsettling.
He decided, let's fuck people up.
Yeah.
Let's ruin their nights.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's amazing. But really, like I said, this is I think my favorite design from the book, and I'm really glad to see it in the big screen.
Right now,
just how
it is 3:48 p.m.
AM.
And I'm very glad we didn't see this at night.
Yeah, no, just for that.
Because then I would have gone to sleep and dreamt about that horrible nightmare creature.
It looked really good.
It did.
Especially-
Admittedly, it looked really good, even though it was nightmare fuel. But
it was, yeah, 'cause it's not traditionally
great.
scary. Like no fangs. Like some other creatures, like
you know what?
they're more traditionally scary.
The thought occurs to me that like usually whenever they have like a scary woman, they're gonna have her be like kind of deceivingly like beautiful from like the from the body up, and then you see your face, and it's like whoa.
Yeah.
But
or like
here
a
it was
scraggly
just,
witch. Or
or a scraggly witch. But here it was just
like this big horrible, just big.
This big bloated thing with like a mask with like
a massive mouth and tiny eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, like beady little horrible bull. What are they? Pit bull.
Pit bull eyes.
Yeah, pit bull eyes.
Yeah, and like I said, the illustration in the book is like really like scratchy. And it's a great design.
Oh god.
And I'm so glad that they did not like ruin it.
I'm guessing they stayed very, very faithful to like the design.
Sort of. Yeah, the design. Yeah, 'cause it's just like a one-page illustration of like this round creature and the face. It's the face, really. 'Cause it's like, I think we should talk about the setup.
Okay, yeah. So this guy, the guy who's getting got, Chuck, he's really a good character.
He was good. He was funny.
He was
really funny.
I was honestly sad to see this happen to him.
Yeah,
but
he got the most horrifying death. Yeah.
Yeah, he got the worst of it. Oh man. Okay, so they're trying to get into a hospital to see
records,
to see some
medical records. Yeah, like that's another like typical thing that they do in this kind of movie. It doesn't really matter. It's just like beats this kind of story normally takes. This movie, like, it didn't try to break from them, but I mean, that could be a complaint. Eventually, he ends up in the basement, and so they pull the alarm, which I thought was kind of funny how the hospital guards were like, pull the alarm! And I'm like, what?
Sound the alarm!
What?
Sound the alarm!
Like,
we got an escapee!
Yeah, why do you got an alarm at a hospital? Oh, let me just say, the outside shot of the hospital is really good. They were arriving at the hospital, and then there's like a panning up shot of the hospital. And
it
looks really scary.
Nice.
I don't know why. It was nice.
That was really good.
It's good cinematography in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually he ends up in the basement with the red lights going on. And I kind of wish they hadn't shown her. Because the first time we see the witch, it's like from her feet, and they slowly pan up really close to her. I wish they'd like kept her in the background.
Yeah, actually, that's a bit of a complaint.
That's a bit of a complaint. They could have done that.
Because like as she gets closer, I got way more uncomfortable.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We should talk about how this all set up.
Okay, but we know that. So we know he's freaked out already. We're with him, and then they sound the alarm, and it's the red room. And at this point we know
it's gonna happen.
Something's gonna happen to him. But I didn't expect.
Yeah, you didn't know what was gonna come up. I already knew, and I was looking forward to it. Because it's such a good, unnerving design. Like
it's the design of that thing,
and the way they used it was really good. Like the fact that she never like ran.
She walks.
Let's talk about how like he gets got.
I was fully expecting to see this horrible creature just go do a full sprint straight towards the.
That would be scary, but only for a moment.
Yeah,
I think it sticks. What they did sticks more with you.
Yeah. So he's in this labyrinth essentially of locked doors in the basement.
It's just like I said, this dream logic. This
it's drowned in red.
Similarly to like how the other ones have these like weird dream realities. Mm-hmm. How he's like running through this hallway and she keeps appearing in the distance, walking towards him slowly. And every time he like turns around, it's her still walking towards him, getting closer every time.
Yeah, and as you said before, like there's these shots where it's like from his perspective, and you see going down one hallway, the creature, he turns to his right or something, and then there's the creature coming again, and you're like, okay, so there's two creatures that way. And then the camera pans
it's
this
just
way.
It's the one, but it's that impossible logic that I think was really unsettling.
Yeah.
It's like really impossible, and you're not quite sure. Is there more than one? Because he's turning around, and sees multiple.
Yeah,
but there's only one. That's like the reality of it.
Yeah, and he goes down the one hallway, and then there she is again, and it's like, oh god, where do I go? So he keeps running around, and he gets closed in as like all the creatures kind of.
Well, no, it's just one.
I know, it's just the one.
I found that more unsettling. That unsettling, like impossible logic of no matter where he goes, it'll be there. Yeah. And eventually it gets to that point where she's like, there's one right in front of her, but like he's somehow surrounded. It's very like weird and unsettling.
And then then it goes to hug him, and then at that point it's like, yeah, there was only the one creature, but
he gets like,
you see the terror in his face.
Yeah, he gets absorbed into her.
The witch absorbs him.
And like I said, that's another moment where like they could use Gore or whatever, but the PG-13 rating I think kind of pushed them to be more creative.
I was
with
kind
it.
of expecting her to just with that
Eat him,
big
right?
mouth.
That could have been something else. She had the big mouth. She could have eaten him. That was also a possibility.
But yeah, that
Oh,
would
no,
have
like
been
the
a
hug.
lot less scary.
I don't know, the hug with like still the same expressions of like smiling was also pretty scary, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah.
God.
It's good. It's really great. It gave me chills.
Yeah, no, I was freaked out. I was
Yeah.
I was very unnerved during that entire scene. Oh man. I was gonna say something and I remembered.
What?
Oh, I remembered the horrible face.
The face.
And I
you know,
immediately.
face, yeah.
Okay, but wait, the complaint with
What?
the only complaint with that scene, like we mentioned earlier, was
There's
just
not
that,
much of a setup.
not much of a setup, but also just that like they showed her. They showed her
Yeah.
from. They panned up.
Well, that's
did a
really
full panning
minor.
shot.
That's really minor.
If they
But
just never
it-
showed her and like showed like this horrible nightmare creature off in the distance.
The first time we see
and
her,
then as
yeah.
she gets closer, you're like you see more and more of her, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah, no, because I think that could have been like about 10 times scarier.
Because they show her
The
in
first
her
shot.
entirety later.
Yeah, they show her like her feet, they pan up slowly, and then her face, which is of course the most scary part of her.
Yeah, like
but if
that-
they hadn't done that, and if she was just really, really, really far away, if you're like, is that a person? And that just
You're
keeps
like, what is
happening,
that?
and it keeps coming closer. That would have been really good.
Yeah. If they honestly just had to, I feel like they could,
Yeah.
if they cut that out, it would have.
That director's cut.
Director's cut.
Director's cut.
Show it. You can't go home until you show it.
You gotta show it.
But please, I have a family. Show it.
It's what the people came to see. You gotta show it.
You gotta show it, Louis. You gotta show
You gotta show it. Show them what they want to see.
Film directors are Italian.
You gotta no, they're just scum. no, that would be film executives.
Yeah, film
With
executives.
their cigar. You gotta show it. In the 70s. Yeah, we need some nudity. You know what to do. That leads to the final one, which I think was still pretty good. Pretty well done still. Just, I think after the red one, like the red room kill.
Yeah, no, I was done at that point.
Except it was exceptionally well done. I really liked it.
Fuck. Now that we were on the red room for so long, I kind of forgot.
You can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. That's,
Also, by the way, Red Room, Twin Peaks.
Yeah, we thought about that. We heard Red Room and we were like, hey. They did use CG. I think it would have been nice if they'd used practical effects, though.
The practical effect.
Well, it looked good, so I'm not complaining really.
Yeah.
Because it at no point it looked like, oh look, it's a big CG monster.
If they could have used a practical effect for that, I
Oh,
would
for
have
that?
loved.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see it.
Yeah, no, that one in
But like
particular.
if it looked better as CG or something, or if it was like a little more convincing with CG, then like whatever. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, no, because Del Toro, like, he's already known for like a lot of his practical effects. Like in Hellboy, in so many parts, the monster is a practical effect, and also in Pan's Labyrinth, like the pan, I know it in Spanish, el fauno,
The fawn.
the fawn. Is that? I don't know. Anyway, it was a guy in like a suit with stilts on, and he looked really good. Yeah,
Okay,
The last one I
last
think would be the most like. It's all right.
Yeah, it's alright.
And-
It was,
and
it was
it's really
story
not-
related, which I think is what.
It's not its
made
own
it a
thing. It was a
Haunted house.
No, not haunted house.
Oh
Before
no! Oh yeah.
that, Mr. Mac something. I forget. I think that's also in the book. The Jangly Man. I think he called him.
Yeah, you call him Jingle Man.
Yeah, he was. That was a fun one. I think more than scary.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah. They get locked up
they end up in jail for the night.
because the Mexican, is a draft dodger,
Yeah.
which was pretty good for the Vietnam War because Vietnam War. But yeah, anyway, they both get arrested for that. For that simple reason. Normally in this kind of movie, it's because, oh, what were you doing in the abandoned house with a knife and a bag of goat blood? No, you don't understand, officer. It's the ritual.
We can't let you go. Stay in the cell.
And that's when the monster comes out.
Yeah.
It's basically like this like weird zombie monster with multiple.
that comes in parts.
Yeah, head, torso, and legs. And
It was great because
it was fun. Cause the first thing
head
that happens
drops.
is the head. The head comes out like a chimney in the police station. 'Cause
it's
like
not
the
like
60s.
it's not like a jump scare or anything. It's just
Yeah,
the
just
head comes out.
And it looked
and
like a
it
weird like Halloween
opens-
prop head for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, is that like a prop Halloween head?
And then
It starts
it
to-
opens his mouth, starts talking.
But yeah, the police officer who's like looking at this, he's like, what the fuck? But essentially, And like he does the thing that everybody always says, why don't you do that in the movie? He just starts shooting it. And it's really funny.
Because the monster's like, yeah.
Yeah,
and then pulls itself together. It's
Yeah.
like, why do you do that? And then immediately, as soon as it's like all together, slaps him so hard that his like neck snaps.
Yeah, like in Kung Fu Hustle.
And then he the monster this time is after
Ramon?
and the monster's like calling him a coward at times.
Yeah.
But it's not doing its like little thing. It's saying coward.
Yeah, they could have done more of that, I think. Have each fear relate to the person.
Yeah.
They kind of do that superficially in some. Because, like, in the first one, he always hated the scarecrow. The girl, like, she was not obsessed with beauty, but, she was like, oh no, a pimple.
Yeah.
And they could have done that a little bit more, but, that's not even, like, a complaint. That's
the
just, like...
Red Room, they definitely didn't do that, but
Well,
it
they
didn't
did.
matter.
They kind of did, because they just before were, like,
just
my
before,
dream.
and it's like, well, whatever.
Yeah, but as for their characters, then, they could have...
And then this one, like, it was related to his character a bit, because he was always, like, clouded in mystery.
He did say that, like, his brother got sent to war and got sent home in pieces. That's kind of what, like, I took from it.
You know what? I just realized he got sent home in pieces, and the monster came in pieces.
Yeah, that can kind of be, like, a thing they were doing.
When they first meet Ramon, they're like hiding from bullies. They duck out from them in his car, and then they kind of like start going through his things. And they're like, "You're living in your car. Why?" So we know he doesn't have a home to go back to, or at the very least, we know that like for whatever reason he can't go back. And if you know a lot about like that period of time, a lot of people didn't want to go to fucking Vietnam. A lot of people did not want to go to Vietnam. I
don't want to go to fucking Vietnam.
You either go to jail and get sent, and then get forced to go to Vietnam, or you sign up voluntarily to go to Vietnam. That's how it worked back then. Or you were too old or a woman. Either way. That's how. There's a
lot of bad things that could have been back then.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that would have sucked to be in the 60s, but and I wouldn't know about that.
Yeah.
Neither of us would know about that.
Title of the video: Mexican and black guy talk about how scared they are of the 60s. Yeah, no, I'm glad I wasn't alive in the 60s. It would have sucked.
Yeah, it would have sucked.
There's still a whole bunch of shit.
Gone to Vietnam.
There was a bunch of shit going on in Mexico too.
Really?
Yeah, there's always been shit going on in Mexico.
You know what? There's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, remember Fela Kuti? How I've told you about him?
About who? Say it to the camera.
Fela Kuti. You know how how the Nigerian government was like, "Hey, we're gonna eat your mom out of a window."
Yeet.
Yeah, and they did, and then they like beat him over the head, and
Yeah.
like broke his skull a little bit, and then arrested like all of his friends. So like. That was going on like in the 70s.
Yeah.
So if I was alive in the 70s and I would
in
have
Nigeria,
been over there, I was in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I'd probably be dead. Yeah, no. The 60s were a bad time for everyone involved.
Yeah, that's what we're getting at. What are we talking about?
I don't know. I remember laughing as it they managed to get out of the police station, and he's like, I'm gonna try and outrun it. You go to the house and try to end this. And then, the girl starts running. The main character starts running away. Ramon gets in the car, and then like the next shot is just the guy is just the monster like doing the crab walk outside.
Yeah.
And then it's like wah. Walks out, and then he floors it.
Yeah. That was like a cool action scene.
Yeah. And then he crashes into a
fire truck.
Into a truck. Yeah, he crashes into a fire truck, and I'm like, no, because in the 60s you would have died immediately if you got in a car accident.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like it's on the front of his car, then he crashes into a fire truck.
And he was driving pretty fast. He was not hitting the brakes.
Yeah, in the 60s he just died.
You just died, or you flung out of the windshield and stabbed yourself on the little hood ornament you had.
Like your little hood ornament. That's I think a fun fact from like back in the day. Hood ornaments like killed so many people. Like people get hit by cars and they're like, yeah, they would have survived if they hadn't been impaled by this.
If it weren't for the little hood ornament, you would have just got flung out the window and then like hit the road. You would have gotten some scratches, maybe some like lacerations and whatever, but you'd be fine.
Yeah, that's the real thing back in the 60s, how people kept on getting stabbed when they got run over. Like, yeah, he would have lived. It was just like a small collision, but, you know, the side of his body was impaled by a little hood ornament.
But the little hood ornament broke into his stomach and spilled all his acid out.
Yeah,
so,
all my acid.
All my acid, no, get back in there.
It made his appendix explode. Anyway, that just leads to them being, you know, chased back to the house where the girl gets to go, no, you're not mean, you're nice, so stop being mean. And that kind of ends. And that's about it. I mean,
I want to point this out though. Like, it was a really cool sequence of like a space-time thing. The girl, the main character, gets back to the house, and she gets the ghost kind of. She's pleading with the ghost to stop this, and then she gets sucked back in time to like kind of be the.
Yeah.
She's like, she is the girl, like she is the ghost.
Yeah, her story where she died was gonna be like, she gets sent back to the time where the girl lived, like in her body, and gets to see like how they treated her.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Ramona's also at the house and running around, and then like at times they can hear each other, like she can hear his footsteps. And eventually screaming, and he can hear.
I thought it was
screaming.
cool. No, I thought it was cool how like he's like in the prison and he finds her glasses like in the rubble.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was cool because like, oh my god, does she die?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, it gets hinted that she just kind of the ghost
like
kind
she
of
went back
replaces
in
her
time.
or something.
Yeah, that she went back in time and
is just stuck there.
Which is like a horrible fate, really.
Yeah.
But
especially since we know what happens to her, she just gets
electrocuted to death. The girl.
Yeah.
Or just tortured until she died.
Yeah.
By the government.
She dies in the hospital.
Yeah, in the asylum back then. We could talk for like so long about how horrible things were back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to the asylum, you know.
You go to the
they
asylum,
lobotomize you and start electrocuting you. But anyway, yeah, that's, you know, the end. I guess that would be the complaint I'd have for the movie. That's not really subversive in its structure. Because I feel like the previous movies he's made, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, for example, you start watching that one and you're not really going to know what it's about, and it just kind of throws you for a loop, and you're like, oh, this is what the movie's about? And it kind of plays again with that, like, weird logic where you don't know what's real. And also, like, his other movie, the Troll Hunter movie. Mm-hmm. That's a horrible title, Troll Hunter.
Troll Hunter.
And it's just a really long, boring movie where a troll hunter is procedurally going about his job.
Hunting.
You know, it's a found footage film, but it kind of fall kind of into the cliché of a found footage film, but it's like realistic enough where they're just kind of going around and taking footage of him. Mm-hmm. But this was kind of just like a structured, you know, he didn't write the movie, he wrote Troll Hunter. Mm-hmm. But it was a regular structured movie. I don't think they did too much to differentiate from that. Yeah. You know, kids go to a place, and they find the cursed item, they get the ghost, whatever, and it follows them, kills them off one by one. Eventually, like, they go back and defeat it. Mm-hmm. It's really, really, really standard. But like I said, through the cinematography, then the direction, and the soundtrack, sound design, I mean, they just elevated into something, you know, more entertaining than just that.
Yeah.
Everything you just said.
Everything I just said in my head.
I said it, I swear.
I said it, but he cut it out.
I cut it all out. That way I'll sound like the smart one. No, it's gonna be definitely more like they had the script because there was other screenwriters, and they had said, "Hey, let's get Del Toro on the project because maybe he liked the book." Because Del Toro is like one of those guys who really likes a lot of pop culture stuff.
And then he throws away their draft. And it's like, here's that. That was
garbage. It's obviously the same. Like
that was raw. That was raw boo boo. Here you go.
So I think he got in there.
Here's what you're gonna film instead.
Yeah, he must have got in there and like kind of changed things around a little bit. Because it's still the same, like, you know, generic structure.
A little bit.
And then he also probably helped.
Big X's on
like,
every page.
He must have helped direct too, or something. I don't know. You could just really feel Del Toro in there, and I'm glad. Mm-hmm. They elevated what would have been otherwise a really boring movie.
You know what? Maybe he like looked through the script and he's like skimming through, goes to like the scare scenes, and it's just like, let me exit all the shit that you guys have and rewrite it.
Okay, yeah, I'll believe that Del Toro wrote the scare scenes.
And then he just did not care about everything else in the movie.
Yeah.
All in all, it was a pretty fun experience watching this movie.
Definitely, yeah.
I'm glad I went to go see it. Filmmaking is good.
It's like if you
except when it's not.
Except when it's not. It's like as if you took one of the other horror movies, the bad ones, and said, "Hey, what if you tried to use filmmaking?" You see the script, you know, it's there, but
what
you
if
know,
you tried being competent at writing?
Yeah, the writing, like I said, it's the writing is okay,
Yeah.
but really the cinematography. How many times can I say that?
It
looks-
the movie's really good.
It looks really good. The colors
Looks
are
really
nice.
good.
The shot.
Sounds really good. And you'll pee your pants really good. That's really good.
It's true. That's it.
That's it, I guess.
Horror is good. Watch more horror.
Well, no, make better horror first and then watch it.
Mhm.
Find out what scares you, then make your own horror movie and just put it on YouTube or something. And then like we'll have more horror.
It'll be lovely.
Yeah. Why not?
Anyway, until next time, we'll be waiting in the dark.